Hey folks, and welcome to episode number 115, I believe, of Tetrakey TV. My name's Rob, and I'm one of the founders of Tetrakey, and I wonder how your day has been today. I hope it's been amazing, and I hope you're achieving everything that you wish you are achieving. And I want to talk to you tonight about achieving, about having some direction, about knowing what it is that you're going to do. And I want to talk from my own heart, my own experience, my own thoughts, and what I'm currently going through myself as a business owner and as a performance coach at this point in time. So I mentioned a couple of times over the past few Tetrakey TVs, and hi to Jolene this evening. Thanks for joining us, Jolene. It's great to see you. I mentioned that in the not too distant future, in fact, I'm putting in my paperwork over the next 8 to 10 weeks to go and establish a full-time Tetrakey presence and office in Seattle in the United States, involving myself, my wife and my daughter moving full-time to Seattle from Johannesburg, South Africa, where we live at the moment. And in doing that, Mark asked a really good question. He said, so 8 to 10 months. I'm like, yep, that sounds about right. What's your legacy going to be? What are you going to leave behind? How do you know that everything you've been doing is worth it? And it's a really, really powerful series of questions. You see, because there's a great temptation to just face forwards to the place that's not where I am currently, and look forwards to that. And I suppose you could be thinking about that in terms of when you also leave a job to go to a new job, or when you are coming up to retirement. What is the legacy? What are you leaving behind? What are people still going to be talking about? What are you doing to ensure the maybe sustainability of what it is that you've built or been working on? What are the history books going to say in, I don't know, 50 or 100 years' time about you and the period of life that you've just experienced? Now for me, this idea of legacy has put a huge amount of focus on the next 8 to 10 months. What it is I need to do, and interestingly, it's probably doubled my workload. I need to go and, having identified what my legacy for Tetrakey is going to be in South Africa when I'm no longer in South Africa, to achieve that legacy and then to set up a US operation at the same time is likely to double my workload. But nevertheless, I'll be able to move forwards into the next stage of my business life and my personal life, knowing what I've achieved and knowing what it is I've left behind. Knowing what I've left behind is wholesome, it's good, it's positive, productive, and useful to mankind as a whole. And here's the thing: is life is full of a series of legacy steps, or evolutionary steps. And I wonder if you look forward into your timeline over the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, you probably can identify your next evolutionary step. Is it to leave your job and set up a business? Is it to change jobs? Is it to change departments? Is it to sell your business? Or is it to go and establish your business elsewhere? What is it? There's going to be a series of markers, I suppose, lines in the sand on your timeline going forwards. And I'd encourage you to then concentrate on what it is you can achieve in this short period of time that you've got between now and whenever your line in the sand is. Ensure that the history books represent you as having used your time productively, positively, and wholesomely for the benefit of humanity within that. Give yourself something that when you talk to your children, you talk to them about this period of time in your life, the period from the last evolutionary change to your next one. That when you talk to your kids about it, it's not some blah, some monotone line of life where you've just done enough but nothing more. Where you can talk to your kids about this evolutionary gap that we've got between one evolution and the next one, and we can talk about it with language and action that fills our children with pride about what mummy or daddy has done. So we can fill ourselves with pride when we move on in terms of what it is that we have achieved, knowing that we've done our very best to make it sustainable, useful, and has been handed on. We've put the very best version of us into it. So I'd encourage you this evening to look forward along your timeline of life going forwards and wonder when the next evolutionary change is likely to be for you. And of course you know when that is because you can project forwards. And then make a decision. What is my legacy for this period of time going to be? What's going to be said about me when I move on? What still of me is going to be represented within what I'm doing as the world moves on, and maybe my world moves in a slightly different direction to where my current world goes to. So if we were to leave a department, maybe the department would carry on doing what it's doing and we would move into something new. But what of me, what wholesomeness and positivity of me is going to be left behind? And how are my kids going to be proud of this evolutionary phase of my life? What are they going to tell their friends in the playground? What are they going to talk about on their wedding day? Or just how are they going to think about you as a parent, maybe, as you go forwards? And so that's it. You see, if you know what your legacy is you wish to leave, you've clearly defined your end in mind, and within very, very clear, specific boundaries as well. And you've decided what it is that you're going to do and leave behind. And maybe you're going to give yourself a solid platform to move forwards from. So that's it from me this evening. Maybe you can go and let me know in the comments section on Instagram, Facebook, Medium, YouTube, wherever it is you're watching this. In the comments section, I'd really love to know about what's your legacy for this next evolution of your life. What are you going to leave behind that's wholesome, good, positive, and beneficial to humanity as a whole? How are you going to use this legacy to make your kids proud, or make yourself proud, or make your wife or partner or husband proud? What is it that you're going to do? So that's it for me. It's all about legacy. I'm going to carry on tomorrow building the legacy for Tetrakey in South Africa. And on that note, we are looking for a business partner stroke CEO of Tetrakey Africa to form part of that legacy going forwards. If that's you or somebody you may well know, or even if you're just vaguely curious about, well, maybe could it be me? Why not get in touch with me? You've got the mechanisms here to leave a comment or a message and ask. Let's have a chat and let's see how maybe you can play as part of the legacy that is going to be left behind and still supported by me, left behind as I move forward with Tetrakey and establish the business in a fourth continent. So that's it for this evening. I hope you have an amazing 24 hours further, that you produce the very, very, very best version of you, and that you make positive impact in the lives of yourself, your family, your friends, and of course your customers. And I will see you in 24 hours time. So stay amazing, and yeah, stay amazing.